Guys, welcome back to another video. Okay, so in this video we'll be covering two things. That's the weekly review, the review of this week. This is June 10, so you know which week it is. The review of this week, everything that happened from Monday to Friday, market close, and we'll be looking at our weekly forecast, what we'll be expecting for the coming week. Okay, I'm making this in one video, so it will help, not uploading multiple videos. At least you've gotten everything you need for this week in one particular video. All right. Okay, so look at this. Look at the chart. This is all of this week's price action, starting from this vertical line, right? This is the last week. This is the current week. Sorry, this week that just passed. All right. So we have Monday trading for Friday's high, taking out Friday's high, and then we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We had this buy side liquidity. Sorry, this sell side liquidity here, which was totally ignored, and we have another buy side liquidity there, which was totally ignored. So you see, this week just left a lot of liquidities for the coming week. Now let me explain this week in a moment. You can see we opened here. There's no visible new week opening up, but you can see this is Sunday's price action. So that open on Sunday should be the new week opening up. That open on Sunday should be the new week opening up, and if you draw that out to the right, you can see price closed almost the same point where it opened. That's telling you what the week was, an indecisional week. So this week happens like that, like this most times. Don't feel bad for it. Okay, the week is a doji candle. You can see price opened. This is New York open, fine, yes, but the candles open is what I'm talking about right now. A new week opening up. Price opened, went higher, went downward, went lower, and went back to where it opened and closed there. We had this sell side liquidity, multiple lows. I was targeting. I called this out on the Telegram community where the mentorship is taking place. I called that out. I was like, I want to see price take that out, but price did not, and immediately just start rejecting from me. I was surprised, like, wow, what's price doing? Okay, so many times you have this scenario where price takes out buy side liquidity or previous week high, and you'll be like, okay, that's the end of our manipulation phase. Let me give you one tip on the weekly AMD. Okay, understand this. If price on Monday or Tuesday or anytime, the weekly AMD is okay, Monday to Wednesday is the window for the weekly AMD. Write that as I'm saying it, write it now on your note. Monday to Wednesday is the window for the weekly AMD. Now, why do I say that? Listen to me. You can go and study these things after you finish this video. Go and study it on past price action. That's why I'm telling you to write it down. Very important. Okay. So we have this high, Friday high, and price takes that out. Typically, that's the end of the manipulation phase. The manipulation phase is done. Price taking that high out is telling you that price is ready to what? Distribute. But we still have Tuesday and Wednesday, and the window is open for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Okay, so in many cases this has happened in many weeks before, not particularly this week, but this has happened in many weeks before. Go and study these things. Even last week, go and check your past data. Okay, so if price takes out this high, previous week high, that's the end of the manipulation phase. Typically the manipulation phase is done, the rest is distribution. But yes, it's a very big but. If price should take a previous week low on Wednesday, you remember the window is open from Monday to Wednesday, right? So if price should take a previous week low again, either on Tuesday or on Wednesday, that now becomes the end of the manipulation phase. This is no more the manipulation phase buy side liquidity. The low that was taken out within that Monday to Wednesday is now officially becomes the manipulation phase sell side liquidity, the end of the manipulation phase. Then whatever happens on Thursday and Friday, is a distribution fees. I don't know if you understand what I say. Repeat this video or play back so you get that point. Okay, I move on. Now Monday we had price taking buy side liquidity and distributing. Then without taking any liquidity, we saw this go back. Okay, so we are going to be looking at all of this price action from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and see how possibly you could trade anything on those days, even though the bias was not so very determined. At least if you were fast enough, because I've told you many times, I've said it many times, that be ready to change the market condition. Always be ready to change market condition. Yes, it's okay to have hindsight, but you want to project this hindsight to seeing these things happen live on the chart. When they happen live on the chart, all these details will not be clear to you. Okay, until you give it much time, much practice. Right. Okay. Let's look at the weekly time frame. This is the weekly time frame. All right. This was the weekly fair value gap I called out. Let me see. 3 weeks ago, since 3 weeks ago, I've been calling out that weekly fair value gap. And you can see how price straight into that weekly fair value gap. Perfect there. Which for that last up close candle and rejected. What is this telling you? Price consolidating inside a weekly fair value gap, inside a drawn liquidity. This is telling you this is an indication, not certain. Nothing is certain, right? This is an indication that price is likely to come down for all these fair value gaps here. We have this fair value gap, we have this other fair value gap, and we have this doji candle, indecision candle. I know you've studied candlesticks, you know that doji candle does not indicate reversals, yes. But when we have a next red candle on the next week, when we have a red candle on the next week, this is telling you that, okay, fine, that's a what? Evening star. For those of you that studied candlestick very well. But for the meantime, you want to see this price action, pay attention to this price action, that weekly fair value gap, and price just reach for that high, reach for this low, without taking the previous week low. The price formed what? An indecision candle, like I said earlier, inside that weekly fair value gap. That's something, okay? That's something you want to work with. Now, let's look at each and every day price action. Okay, so this is Monday. We have Monday here. And we have Friday's price action. This is Monday. Don't pay attention to it. This is Friday's price action. Little bit of Sunday price action. You can see where Sunday opened. From this fourth, that's where Sunday opened. And we have Monday. So Friday price action. That was last week, NFP week. What happened last week Friday? I've talked about this many times. When price opens on Monday, I'm going to make a particular lecture on how price trades on Monday. It's a unique way what price does on Monday on NASDAQ. I'm going to make a lecture for that. Okay. So when price opened on Sunday, it reached out for Friday's fair value gap. You can see the OB, the other block of that fair value gap. Price reached out for that. It did not go down further to breaking that fair value gap. But when price opened on Monday, price gave what? Intraday AMD on London session. That's 15 minutes. You can see that 15-minute candle that's giving that fair value gap. Draw it out to the right. Price trades into that almost immediately. You find your confirmation there on the 5-minute time frame and buy towards to Friday high. I was buying there to Friday high. Then we have this rejection candle, this black candle here, rejecting at that New York session. That could be a sign for you to close your trades, right? Immediately price takes out this high, it's okay to close your trades, even though price went as high as anything. You miss all these trades, yes, but at least you're taking profit here. It's not bad to take profit. So Friday's fair value gap, we have it there. Price trades into it on Sunday. Always pay attention to Sunday's price action. It's very important. Trust me, very very important. There are sometimes Sunday makes an OT, like Sunday creates a fair value gap that Monday trades into as a previous day fair value gap, ignoring the Friday totally. Trust me, it happens. Go and study your charts. Okay, so we have that fair value gap. The Sunday trades into it. Then you don't want to take any action there. You are not taking any action there. Trust me, you want to wait till Monday. Then Monday happens and we have the OT taking out this low, taking out this high, and intraday AMD again. You see different confluence. That's telling you that okay, price is ready to run for this high. And I remember calling this out to the community that price is ready to run out this Friday's high. I remember calling that out clearly, and price did that almost immediately. You would have picked the trade here, look for a confirmation there on the intraday AMD, and take that trade. I know most of you have poor execution now. You're scared of taking trades, or you're scared of losing money. You should not be scared. You should not be scared. Trust me. If you lose, you learn. If you profit, you'll be happy. So when rejecting, price leaves a 15-minute fair value gap there. And I called this out too. I was like, I wanted price to trade into that fair value gap that same Monday and start coming down as an intraday AMD. The price did not do that. Okay, price did not do that. Price left that fair value gap unfilled. To some of you, that would be the manipulation imbalance. Yes, to me, I regarded it as the manipulation imbalance. Seeing what price did on Tuesday, that's when I changed my mind. Let's look at Tuesday price action. Okay, so we have Tuesday. This was Monday. We have Tuesday. What happened on Tuesday is what I call the fold. Write it down on your notes. The fold. If you ask yourself, what is the fold? This particular price action on Tuesday, what happened here on Tuesday is what I call the fold. For the past 6 months, right? The past 6 months on NASDAQ, this has happened only twice. This making it the third time. So remember what I said, that you want to do things that happens continuously, but at least you want to take those detailed information of what happens once in a time. Once that, in case it happens again, you know exactly what to do, right? So we have this previously drawn liquidity. We have the previously favored gap. And on Tuesday, what were you expecting? Everybody was expecting price to trade into the previous day fair value gap. I too was expecting that. But that previous day fair value gap was still marked out as to be my manipulation imbalance. Because price have taken a previous week high, so this could be the manipulation imbalance to keep distributing. All right, but price is not that. Price folded on Tuesday. We have the opening price here on New York session. You can see that, and the closing price on that same Tuesday, the same place, forming what a doji candle, an indecisional candle, just like the weekly time frame. So price went downward. This is also called seek and destroy. Price went downward, price went upward, and just consolidated and closed exactly where it opened. That is the fold. Now, what do you want to do? Why is this the fold? Let me explain this to you. Write this down. The fold. So, in a day where price opens and fails to reach for previous day drawn liquidity, in a day where price opens and fails to reach for previous day drawn liquidity, but instead ends up consolidating or ends up as an indecisional candle, the next day, like this was Tuesday, so the next day, Wednesday, is likely to come for this draw liquidity if there are no intraday setups. Play back that video, play back that point, or use the caption and write that down. So we wanted price to trade into this previously favored gap, previously drawn liquidity, but price did not do that. Price folded on Tuesday. Folded on Tuesday. What does that mean? It did not give any intraday AMD. Did not give any sign of pulling downwards. So we take this as the manipulation imbalance, the imbalance that stays unfilled for the rest of the week. Instead, it does what? It folded. The next day, what do you want to be looking at? You want to you want to keep your eye on that level. If you keep your eye on that level, then price is likely to take all of this as liquidity. This is seek and destroy. So this is folding. This is the fold. Price will take all of this, the high of this day, as a liquidity to reach out for that drawn liquidity that was ignored. I certainly hope you understood that. Okay, let's go to Wednesday. Wednesday price action. So after the fold, what happened on Wednesday? Price opened, accumulated, manipulated into that fair value gap that was ignored on Tuesday, and distributed. I did not want to mention this on the Telegram community because it will be totally new. So I was like, okay, let me keep quiet. So I mentioned it on the weekly review because it will be totally new. You will not understand anything I was saying. This was the fold. It does not happen every time, but anytime you see this happen in a week where price is supposed to reach for a previously drawn liquidity and price did not, instead it folded, making an indecisional candle on that day, the next day your eyes should still be on that drawn liquidity. Yes, I know some people will be waiting for intraday. If this day does not give intraday, then your eyes should be on that drawn liquidity. Very important. All the losses you've taken, all the missed trades you've taken are teaching you something. They are teaching you not to do those mistakes again in the future. There was a confirmation there on the at least I think 1 minute time frame for you to pick a trade there. Some people don't. Some people there are some people who don't like those confirmations. They just want to. That's their draw liquidity. They place their order there and stop loss above the high, and they just take those trades. Those people are likely not going to get missed trades most of the time. But trust me, you want to study these things. If you are certain that that's the draw liquidity price to reach for, then fine, no problem. You can go in without any confirmation. It's fine. But confirmation is always helpful. The confirmation also leads to lots of missing trades. That's why I'm going to be teaching about lower time frame entry secret. ICT lower time frame entry secrets. It could be our next lecture, but just anticipate that lecture, okay? So we reach for the Harley order block. There's not much information on my chart, so you can go and look that up while you are studying for this week. You can go and look that. There's a Harley order block there. That price reached for on Wednesday. Trading into it, I was still expecting price to come for this sell side liquidity. You can see that line. That line is the sell side liquidity, but price did not. Price did not. Instead, it stopped at that high order block. And this is normal because everybody, the sell side liquidity, price is always magneted to these areas. It's always drawn to these areas, right? You want price to take that out, but price did not. And this is where I say that don't be fixated on one thing. Trust me, you want to be stoic. Don't be fixated on one direction. This chart, you're not the one making them. It's hard to be that stoic, but pay attention to every bit of information on the chart. You can get distracted sometimes. I do get distracted sometimes. That's why most times I don't like calls whenever it's my trading session. So you want to take every bit of information. You will see that if you check your early time frame, you see that that order block is not visible very well, but price respect that. You want to be looking at different time frame, not just one time frame, 15 minutes, just 15 minutes. You're looking at 15 minutes for the rest of the day, for the rest of the week. No, you want to be looking at 1 hour time frame. See, hard time frame is very important. Trust me, I'll make a lecture for that. So let's go to Thursday. All right, Thursday we were supposed to trade for that sell side liquidity, but we did not. Price rejected here. We had hourly time frame here. Sorry, 1 hour fair value gap there, even 15-minute fair value gap. We had many of them there. What do you want to do? You want to trade price to that fair value gap. Although I've said many times that you should not counter trend on the distribution phase, so it will be hard for you to pick these trades. But that's being fixated on those things because you want to see these things. These are things that does not happen every time. I'm okay if I don't take this trade. I'm okay because this is something that happens like once in 3 months. So why do I want to be why do I want to use this particular law to violate all the laws I've had for that works on every month, every week? That's not what you want to do. You want to at least know what price did, right? This is what price did this week. This is what price did this week. So we have that intraday AMD on the. You can check a 1 hour time frame. It's very visible there with your charts. We have that intraday AMD price trades into that London session, then breaks that high. This is another OT. Trades back into that fair value gap, then start buying. Buying to where? To hourly time frame. So that's what Thursday did. It's not, these things are not just random. They happen. Everything I teach happens every single week, every month. So you have the intraday AMD there, price trading into that, and you have the confirmation price trading into that fair value gap, and you take your trade. Buy till market just consolidate and closed. That was Thursday for you. Let's look at Friday. Okay, Friday we have new day opening gap. At least it was the only day that had a visible new day opening gap. I mean very visible. When I mean very visible, it's visible on the 15 minutes, not only the 1 hour and the 1 minute time frame. We have previous day fair value gap. You can see this. I've said this many times on the mentorship channel. If you're not there, you know where to join with the link on the description. We had a previous day low. We had a previous day fair value gap. Now you don't know which one price to take first. You just want to see. You want to watch and wait which one price will react to. So price did not react to the previous day low, price reacted to the previous day fair value gap, then break that high, trades back into that fair value gap. There's fair value gap there certainly. Either on the 5 minute time frame, or this is a 15 minute time frame, okay? Price trades back into there and reach for that high. That's the buy side liquidity that was created on Monday. Price reached for that high, perfectly priced into there, dropped again into that new day opening gap. You can see these are not just random. You can see how these candles are respecting it. Look at this candle, that close of the candle, this close of the close of the candle, this other open of the candle, this candle also respecting it with the wick. We have this other candle too respecting it with the candle body, and this other one too respecting with the candle body. We also have this candle respecting it with the wick. So these things are not random. We have that new day opening gap there, the NDOG dog price trading into there and buying again. Although it was not a good buy, but price bought at least. This could be small profit to this fair value gap there. Okay, so that is this week's price action in a glance. That's everything that happened on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. In case you missed any, at least you understood everything for the week. Okay, so now we'll be looking at our weekly forecasts, right? We want to see what happened, what is likely to happen on the coming week. Since this week was a bit confusing, are we going to be having a more confusing week next week? Let's look at that. Okay, so pre-weekly forecast. This is dollar. What have dollar been doing this week? Dollar was selling while nasdaq was indecisional. Okay, we had this level marked out for dollar, and we had this level also marked out for dollar last week. That is the order block. Price reached for that order block, but I wanted price to reach for the consequent increment of that order block. That's half of it, half of that order block weeks. But we have this fair value gap on the weekly time frame. You have that fair value gap on the weekly time frame. So I'm supposing that price is heading for this fair value gap to bounce up more into that daily time frame volume imbalance. Yeah, no much complications on dollar. This is just what I'm expecting. So those markings will be there till next week. I'll see how price deal with that. This is the daily time frame dollar. We have that volume imbalance. Remember that volume imbalance are magnetic to price. Price always magnetic to those volume imbalance. And this is the weekly order block. You see how price treats into that with weeks, not closing inside there. We have price dropping for this volume weekly time frame fair value gap. Price could drop into there. You want to see the reaction of the candle bodies in that fair value gap. Then that will tell us if price is ready to trade higher. I'm expecting this. This is not a prediction. This is just my expectation. I could be wrong, and I'm okay to be wrong. And this, I'm okay to be wrong. I'm not like saying that's just what I want to see. I want to see price respect that weekly fair value gap and head for that daily volume imbalance. I'm waiting for the day I'll be wrong with my analysis, with my forecasts. Everything I've been calling, everything I've been saying, just keeps happening. Maybe it's luck, I don't know. But I'm waiting for the day I'll be wrong. So I'll take responsibility for it. Okay, so I call this level and price don't get to that level. But each and every level I'm calling, price just keeps respecting those levels. It could be months, it could be weeks, the price keeps doing them. Okay, that's to tell you that my bias is okay, if not 100%, at least 85% okay. What's left for you is to know how to pick trades to this level, right? Let's look at euro usd. Okay, these are all our markings for euro usd. Now look at that. We have this weekly fair value gap. Okay, I outlined that weekly fair value gap, and we had this weekly volume imbalance, which I called since price was consolidating here. We have also this daily fair value gap. I'm sorry, this daily volume imbalance, I think, which I also outlined. I did not do any of this newly. This was outlined since last week. Okay, so what have this week been doing so far on Euro USD? If you check, Euro USD is still respecting this daily volume imbalance. Well, I'm not I'm not hoping it respects that forever. Okay, it might likely reject and head for this weekly favorable gap, or we still have sell liquidity here below. You have sell liquidity here below. Like, I'm not certain the price will come for this sell liquidity here, but if DXY chooses to go up, if there are more higher prices on dollar, then there is a possibility that Euro USD will come for this sell liquidity. But for now, as dollar is what it is, I'm still expecting Euro USD to come for this weekly fair value gap. That's on the weekly time frame is a CB, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, and price always treats to it. And I think that's what GBP USD is doing. That's what pound dollar is doing currently now. Let's look at pound dollar. Okay, this is pound dollar. This was our markings on pound dollar for about, let me see, okay, 3 weeks now. Yeah, on the weekly time frame, there's no draw liquidity there. We only have this fair value gap. I'm still looking at that for price to trade into. Yes, it could take months, but I'm still looking at that for JPP USD. And we have this weekly volume imbalance. So GPP is proving very stubborn right now, but I'm still expecting it to trade into that volume imbalance. Yes, I might be wrong, and I'm okay to be wrong. Currently, we are on this sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency on GPP USD. You can see that large imbalance. Oops. I see that large imbalance. Price is trading into that value gap there. There could be a rejection. This is sell side liquidity. You can see this high and this high. Price trading back. Then they're coming to take that high out. Trading into this imbalance could be a very, very nice rejection point for price to come back downward. Anyways, what do I know? We can only tell when price happens. When price have already, like, let's see, for the next 2 to 3 weeks, if price is going to respect that volume, that fair value gap, or if price is going to violate that to come for the high. But anyways, my bias for GBP USD still stands. I'm seeing price rejecting on that fair value gap. Monday could be a very nice rejection point. I want to see price here. I want to see price here. Not that I'm forcing price to come there. No, I'm not forcing price to come there. Okay, let me say I'm hoping to see price there. Okay, yes, let me use that word. I'm hoping to see price. I'm not controlling these markets. This is just what I know. This is just what I understand with the markets. All right. So Nasdaq weekly time frame. I've already talked about this on the weekly review. We traded into that weekly fair value gap. This could be a rejection point for Nasdaq to come lower. But first, what is Monday likely to do? Okay, we have on Nasdaq, pay attention to this, multiple lows, and we have on Nasdaq relative equal highs. So relative equal lows and relative equal highs. Which is price likely to take out first? Well, price is already close to this one, so there's no doubt price will want to take this out. And if price does this on the new week, this could be our liquidity for the manipulation phase, and price could start distributing to take out this low. Why do I want price to take out this low so strongly? It's because we have fair value gaps there. Look at your weekly time frame. It might not be my chart. Use your chart. Look at the weekly time frame on Nasdaq. Price is leaving fair value gaps, multiple fair value gaps. We have fair value gap here, we have fair value gap here, and we have this volume imbalance. Price traded into that volume imbalance, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. Price traded into that volume imbalance created last week. Consider that last week NWG. Let me mark that out so you see. Price does not just reject randomly on a level. That's last week NWG. Price traded into that and rejected without respecting the sell side liquidity. Okay, so I'm still looking forward to Nasdaq trading downward. I'm not forcing Nasdaq to trade downward. If it wants to go higher to take out weekly buy side liquidity, at least we have a buy side liquidity here, relative equal highs. So if it wants to take out this one, then no problem. I'll just follow what price is doing. Okay, I follow what price is doing according to ICT. When wrong is still right. Okay, you could be wrong, but it could be right. Your wrong could be right. It happens. You just need to trust the process. Follow your instincts. Just do what is right. Okay, do what is right. So for Nasdaq, I'm expecting lower prices. Mark that out. I'll still tell it on the community. Okay, looking at the daily time frame. You have relative equal lows. Perfect. And I want price to reach for this other block. So I'm going to leave these markings here for next week or coming weeks. I want price to reach for this other block if possible. And you see what price is doing on the weekly time frame, the value gap, consolidating, forming an indecision candle that could lead the next or the coming weeks to be a um, um bearish week. Okay, so that's my forecast for next week on dollar, euro USD, GBP USD, and Nasdaq. These markets are very tricky. Understand that nothing is certain. These markets are very tricky. Your money is on the line, so you want to be very, very cautious at all times. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching the video. I am hoping you like the video, and I'm hoping it's insightful. Anyways, if you like the video and you've not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, and I'll be dropping more videos like this. Okay. Thank you very much, and be safe.